I can't believe it's finally Friday, I said, pouring tea into 2 mugs. Emily smiled across the small kitchen table, her fingers brushing mine as she handed me one. I know, she replied. It feels like the week lasted forever. You're not just saying that because you finished the grant project early, are you? I teased, trying to sound casual. Emily laughed softly. Maybe a little, but you know me, I hate leaving things unfinished. I remember that about you, I said, thinking back to the first day we met at that coffee shop. She had spilled her latte, I had offered napkins, and somehow we ended up talking for hours. She had this way of making everything feel important, even if it wasn't. Daniel, she said, leaning forward, you look distracted. Something wrong? Nothing, I muttered, forcing a smile. Just thinking about work. Her eyes narrowed slightly. Uh-huh. Work or? I shook my head. No, nothing. Just, I stopped. Oliver Grant's name popped into my mind. You've been quiet lately, Emily said, touching my hand. You remember Oliver? Your old friend? Yes, I do, I said. I forced a laugh. We ran into each other last week. Looks like he's doing well. Rich, successful, confident, Emily said, her tone oddly admiring. I mean, good for him, right? Yeah, I said. Good for him. Inside, a cold pinch gripped me. I tried to hide it, not wanting to show weakness. Emily smiled, unaware. I think it's nice seeing people from the past doing well. Makes you think about your own life. Sure, I said. Makes me think about my life. I wanted to ask if she meant me, if she compared us, but I swallowed it. Later, we curled on the couch with tea and blankets. She laughed at something silly I said, and for a moment, everything felt normal. But then her phone buzzed, and she jumped slightly before slipping it into her pocket. Is everything okay? I asked, curious. Yeah, just a message from work, she said. Her eyes flicked away. Something about her tone fell off. I didn't press it. Over the next few weeks, I noticed small changes. She canceled plans more often, avoided certain conversations, and sometimes compared me to Oliver in casual remarks. You should have seen how Oliver managed that project, she said one night. So impressive. I nodded, smiling, though my stomach twisted. Yeah, he's good at that. I just wish you were more ambitious sometimes, she added. I froze. That stung more than I expected. I am ambitious, I said carefully. I just have different priorities. I know, she said softly, but I sensed disappointment behind her eyes. One evening, as rain tapped the windows, she finally spoke directly. Daniel, we need to talk. Sure, I said, sensing something serious in her voice. My heart began to race. She hesitated, biting her lip. I think we need a break. A break? My mind went blank. A break. I repeated, disbelief cutting through me. What? I need time, she said, avoiding my gaze. I can't explain everything right now. I gripped my mug so tightly it cracked. Emily, what are you saying? Are you leaving me? Her eyes shimmered with tears. I don't know. Maybe. I can't do this. My chest tightened. 5 years. Emily, 5 years isn't enough for you. She shook her head, silent tears streaming. It's not that simple. I need space. I couldn't speak. My world felt like it was unraveling around me, and I realized I had trusted her completely, and now was slipping away. Daniel, please understand, she whispered. I don't know if I can, I said. My voice cracked. I watched her leave the room, my hands shaking, my heart breaking in a way I'd never imagined. I sank onto the couch, staring at the tea cooling in the mug. I didn't know then that this break was just the beginning. The betrayal I couldn't yet see was already in motion. I haven't heard from you in days, Liam said when I finally met him at the cafe. He slid into the seat across from me, concern written all over his face. I've been busy, I muttered, trying to sound normal, but my hands trembled slightly as I stirred my coffee. Busy? He raised an eyebrow. Daniel, you've barely touched your projects. You've been staring at your phone like it owes you answers. I know, I admitted. It's Emily. She left. You mean she actually said it? Liam's voice was calm, but I could feel the tension behind it. Yes. She said we needed a break. My fingers clenched around the mug. A break. Can you believe that? Liam sighed. I can believe it. But you need to stop torturing yourself. Did you try talking to her? I did, I said. Every day. Messages, calls. Nothing. Silence. He leaned back. Silence can be an answer too, Daniel. Sometimes it's louder than words. I can't accept it, I whispered. I mean, we've been together 5 years, Liam. 5 years. I know, he said. But maybe there's something you don't know. Something she's not telling you. I froze. What do you mean? Liam hesitated. Just be careful. Something feels off about this. I don't think it's just a break. People don't leave you without a fight if they truly care. I wanted to argue, but a memory of Oliver's smirk at the office popped into my mind. Oliver, I muttered under my breath. He's involved somehow. He always asks about everything. My savings, my plans, Emily's dreams. Liam's eyes narrowed. Exactly. That's what worries me. You need to watch your back, man. I nodded silently, my stomach twisting. A week later, a plain white envelope arrived. My hands shook as I tore it open. Inside was a wedding invitation, Emily Hayes and Oliver Grant. I stared at the names. My chest tightened. This can't be real, I muttered. They're getting married? Daniel. Liam's voice echoed in my head. I imagined him standing beside me, shaking his head in disbelief. I read the date and venue again. My eyes blurred. Humiliation, anger, and confusion swirled inside me. 5 years gone like that. I called Liam immediately. You need to see this, I said, my voice cracking. Emily, she's marrying Oliver. I saw it coming, he said quietly. I just didn't want to believe it. You need to calm down before you do something you regret. I don't know if I can, I said, pacing the room. I feel like everything I believed in, everything I trusted, it's all lies. Daniel, Liam said firmly. Remember, you're not alone. Let me help you think this through. That evening, I attended a small gathering, hoping for a distraction. I spotted Chloe Bennett chatting near the window, her glass of wine in hand. I overheard her words as if they were meant to strike me personally. Oliver really saved Emily, she said casually to a friend. She wouldn't have made it without him financially. I froze. My mind spun. Save her financially? I whispered under my breath. Could it be? Had Emily really needed Oliver's help? Or had Oliver manipulated her into thinking she did? I clenched my fists, a mix of fury and disbelief coursing through me. I remembered all the times she'd laughed at Oliver's successes, compared me to him, or brushed off my warnings. My trust now felt like a weapon turned against me. Later that night, I sat alone in my apartment, staring at the invitation. My fingers traced Emily's name again. My voice was a low whisper, but I spoke it with determination. I won't stop this wedding, but I will find the truth. I leaned back, my chest heavy, but my mind sharper than it had been in weeks. Something inside me shifted. I couldn't control what she chose, but I could control what I uncovered. Even if it broke me a little, I promised myself I would know everything. Every lie, every manipulation, and I would be ready for the day the truth came out. The invitation burned a hole in my hand, but my eyes no longer blurred with despair. Instead, they focused on what mattered now, exposing the web Oliver had woven, and finally seeing Emily for what, or who, she really was. I stared at my laptop, scrolling through emails I shouldn't have been digging into. This doesn't make sense, I muttered aloud. How did the grant project end up in Oliver's hands? My fingers paused over the keyboard. Emily had access to my proposal. Only she and I. Could she have sent it? No, that didn't feel right. My mind twisted in knots. I picked up my phone and called Chloe. Chloe, I need a favor, I said when she answered. Daniel, is everything okay? Her voice was cautious. I need to know, did Emily ever mention anything about money? Savings? Something she thought I was hiding. There was a pause. Why do you want to know that? Just answer me, I urged. Chloe hesitated. She believed you were hiding money. She said she didn't want to be with someone keeping secrets. My jaw clenched. She believed lies? I think so, Chloe said softly. I never knew who told her. Maybe Oliver. Maybe someone else. I didn't want to get involved. I swallowed hard. Thank you. I hung up and leaned back, heart racing. Someone had fed her lies. My thoughts darkened. The next morning, I called Mr. Howard Fletcher, my old boss. Daniel, long time no see, he said, jovial at first. Howard, I need to know something serious, I said. Did Oliver ever come to you about me? About the company? There was silence on the line. Yes, he admitted finally. He accused you of leaking our project files. I had to handle it carefully. It hurt your reputation, Daniel. I gritted my teeth. He did this behind my back. I'm sorry, Daniel, Howard said. I wish you'd known sooner. He made it seem like you betrayed us. He gained everything while you were painted as the culprit. I should have seen it, I whispered. I should have seen it. I spent hours going through contracts, bank statements, and timelines. Okay, I muttered. If I can map out every lie, every manipulation, I can expose it all. My phone buzzed. It was Liam. You still alive? He asked jokingly. Barely, I replied, but I'm starting to see the full picture. Oliver didn't just take Emily. He took my work, my reputation, my life. Then don't confront them yet, Liam said firmly. Wait, plan it. Make it public. Make it undeniable. I know, I said. I won't speak to them directly yet. I want the truth to hit them where it hurts. Chloe's words echoed in my mind. She believed I was hiding money. Someone fed her lies. I closed my eyes. Rage bubbled inside me, hot and dangerous, but I forced calm. I needed clarity more than anger. I pulled out my notebook, jotting timelines, cross-referencing messages and contracts. Every piece of evidence I collected became a weapon, a truth I could wield. Emily, I whispered, almost to myself. You think you left me, but you didn't know what was coming. Hours later, I looked at the growing pile of proof. They think their love is solid, I murmured. They think no one will ever see through it. But if they built their love on lies, I will break it with truth. I closed my laptop, stretching my stiff shoulders. My hand shook, but it wasn't fear. It was anticipation. I wanted them to feel the weight of everything they had done. The room was quiet, except for the hum of my computer. I thought about Emily, her laughter, the warmth I had trusted. And then I thought about Oliver, smug, calculating, confident he had won. They haven't won, I said aloud. Not yet. Not while I'm alive. I checked my phone again. Messages, emails, schedules. Each detail was another piece of the puzzle. I didn't have to confront them in person. The truth would speak for itself. Leaning back, I whispered one last thing to myself. They think they've escaped the consequences. They're wrong. Every lie will unravel, and they'll see it in front of everyone. Oliver, Emily, the truth is coming, and I will be ready. For the first time in weeks, I felt a flicker of control. It wasn't satisfaction. It wasn't joy, but it was power. The power of knowledge, of preparation, of inevitability. I wasn't ready to confront them, but I was ready to expose them. And that was enough for now. I told you to be careful, Liam said as we met in the quiet corner of the cafe. I've been careful, I snapped, though my fingers fidgeted with the edge of my cup. But this goes deeper than I imagined. Liam leaned in. I can help you. There's someone who can tell you more. Sophie Whitmore. She worked for Oliver. I raised an eyebrow. Oliver's assistant? Why would she help me? She wants the truth out, Liam said. Meet her tonight. Alone. Listen carefully. I nodded slowly, my chest tightening. My mind raced with thoughts of Emily and Oliver. If she knows everything. I have to hear it. That evening, I met Sophie at a small, dimly lit restaurant. She kept glancing around nervously. Mr. Carter? She whispered. Yes. Please sit, I said. My voice was calm, but my heart pounded. I shouldn't even be here, she murmured. But you deserve to know. I leaned forward. Then tell me. What's Oliver planning? Why Emily? Sophie swallowed hard. He targeted her to get to you. Your designs, your company, even your father's land. Marriage was his tool to gain control legally. She didn't know the full extent. He hid it from her, but he needed her to trust him. I felt my chest tighten. My father's land? I whispered. Emily knew about that. Yes, Sophie said. He wanted access through her, and she thought she was helping you, maybe even protecting you. But she didn't see the manipulation. My fingers clenched into fists. She didn't just leave me, she helped destroy me. Sophie looked away, ashamed. I know. I'm sorry. I exhaled slowly, fighting the anger that threatened to spill. I still love her. Part of me hopes she was manipulated, that she didn't fully understand. Sophie nodded. She might not have. But Oliver? He faked debts under your name. He staged your financial failure. Emails, contracts, everything. He left you humiliated. I closed my eyes. My stomach turned. Fake debts, staged it all. Yes, she confirmed. I saved recordings, messages. You can see the proof. She slid a small USB across the table. I grabbed it, my hands trembling. Thank you. This changes everything. But, Sophie added, don't confront them yet. Let them say I do. Then the truth will hit harder. Timing is everything. I nodded slowly, digesting the revelation. My thoughts swirled. Oliver had planned everything meticulously. Me, Emily, the company, even my inheritance. And Emily, she had unknowingly walked into the trap. I won't stop the wedding, I said quietly, more to myself than to Sophie. I'll wait for the perfect moment. They'll say I do, and I'll say the truth. Sophie looked relieved. Exactly. You need proof, and you have it. Patience, Mr. Carter. I clenched my jaw. Patience is my only weapon right now. If I rush, everything falls apart. She nodded, standing. Be careful. And Daniel, Emily still cares for you, even if she doesn't know it yet. Don't let your anger blind you to that. I swallowed hard. I won't. I need the truth to be the weapon, not my feelings. After she left, I sat in the empty restaurant, replaying every memory of Emily and Oliver. Every smile, every laugh, every subtle comparison to Oliver flashed in my mind. My heart ached, but clarity cut through the pain. They think they've won, I whispered, gripping the USB. But the truth is stronger than lies, stronger than betrayal. I thought of Oliver's smug face, Emily's hesitant glances, the promises we had made. I will wait, I murmured. I'll let them walk down the aisle, thinking they've escaped consequences. Emails, recordings, contracts. All of it was a puzzle forming in my mind. The pieces fit together now, revealing the full picture of Oliver's deception and Emily's unintentional involvement. And when the moment comes, I said softly, they won't be able to deny it. They'll see the lies unravel before everyone. Every manipulation, every deceit exposed. I leaned back in the chair, the weight of anticipation heavy but controlled. The heartbreak remained, but a cold focus took over. I had proof, I had timing, and I had patience. They will say I do, I whispered, and I will say the truth. For the first time since Emily left, I felt a flicker of control, a clarity born of betrayal and evidence. The game was no longer about heartbreak. It was about justice, and I would wait for the perfect moment. I arrived quietly, slipping through the side entrance. The hall was bright, decorated with white roses and soft fairy lights. Guests murmured and laughed, unaware of the storm about to hit. My chest tightened as I spotted Emily at the altar. Her dress clung perfectly, delicate lace tracing her shoulders. She looked radiant. My hands clenched into fists, but I forced calm. Daniel, a voice called softly. I turned to see Arthur Hayes, Emily's father. He walked toward me slowly, eyes widening. Arthur, I said, keeping my voice steady. It's been a while. Yes, he replied, hesitating. I didn't expect to see you here. I thought, his voice trailed. I knew he had trusted me like a son once. That trust felt like a knife in my chest. Neither did I said quietly. But some things can't wait. As I moved closer, Oliver appeared, his usual smirk plastered across his face. Daniel, he said smoothly, I didn't expect to see you. You look fragile. I met his gaze evenly. I'm fine, I said, my voice calm, almost too calm. Oliver laughed lightly. Good. You should be. You've lost Emily, after all. You should accept it. You think this is about losing her? I said softly, my eyes fixed on the bride. It's never been about her. It's about the truth. Emily's eyes flicked toward me, then quickly away. My heart twisted, but I stayed composed. I wanted to reach her, to tell her everything I had discovered, but not yet. Timing mattered. The priest cleared his throat. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to join Emily Hayes and Oliver Grant in marriage. I stood still, taking in the room. Every detail, every flower, every smiling face, every distracted glance from the guests. My mind calculated, my heart steady. Does anyone present object to this union? The priest asked. I didn't move. My jaw clenched, but I remained silent. I waited, letting the moment stretch, feeling the tension coil around me like a spring. Liam, at the back, caught my eye and gave a subtle nod. Everything was ready. I felt this surge of anticipation, the quiet power of holding the truth in my hands. Emily smiled at Oliver. He whispered something in her ear, and she laughed softly. They had no idea what was coming, no idea that every word, every secret, every lie was about to unravel. I glanced at Arthur Hayes. His eyes were searching mine, confused. Daniel, what are you? I didn't answer him. Not yet. The priest continued. If anyone has just cause why these two should not be joined. I exhaled slowly, stepping forward. My legs felt heavy, but my movements were deliberate. I wanted everyone to notice me, to register the calm determination in my stance. I don't object, I said, my voice carrying through the hall. Silence fell instantly, like a shutter closing on the celebration. All eyes turned to me. Whispers spread quickly. But I continued, my gaze sweeping the room, landing finally on Emily. I think everyone deserves to hear the truth. Gasps echoed around the hall. Oliver's smirk faltered. Emily's face paled, her eyes wide. I held her gaze, steady, controlled. Daniel, what are you talking about? Arthur Hayes said, voice trembling. I smiled faintly. You'll see soon enough, Arthur. Every lie, every manipulation, every secret, it will all come out. And everyone here will know exactly what happened. Oliver's jaw tightened. He stepped closer, tried to regain composure. You can't. I can, I said softly. Because this isn't about me. It's about truth. And truth doesn't wait for permission. Emily's lips quivered. She looked at me, a mixture of fear and confusion, maybe even recognition. I wanted to tell you quietly, I said, voice low but firm. I wanted to spare you. But now, the world will hear everything. The priest froze, the guests hushed completely. I felt the room's collective gaze weigh on me. Every detail, every secret, every betrayal was contained in my hands like a loaded gun. I exhaled, steadying my heart. They will say I do, I whispered, almost to myself, and I will say the truth. I stepped forward, holding the USB tightly in my hand. Everyone, please look at this. My voice cut through the murmurs in the hall. Oliver's smirk faltered. Emily's eyes widened, and Arthur Hayes froze mid-step. Daniel, Emily whispered, almost trembling. I ignored her for now. Sophie Whitmore confirmed everything. She has recordings of Oliver plotting from the start. I plugged the USB into the laptop near the altar. Stop this, Daniel. Oliver hissed, voice low and dangerous. You have no right. I have every right. I interrupted calmly. To show the truth. Emails, contracts, everything. Step by step. Liam handed me printed copies of contracts. Here, he said quietly. All documented. He stole your designs, Daniel. I nodded, keeping my composure. Let's begin. I displayed the first email. Notice the date, the sender. He asked for my design files under the pretense of collaboration. A whisper ran through the room. Emily's hands flew to her mouth. No, this can't be real, she said softly. Is it real, Emily? I asked gently. She shook her head, tears forming. Next, I played Sophie's recordings. Oliver's voice filled the hall, calm and calculating. I need her trust. Through Emily, I'll get everything, his inheritance, his company, everything. She won't see it coming. The guests gasped. Oliver's face twisted. That's edited, he shouted. I held up another file. Contracts, financial statements, your fabricated debts, staged failures, all under your name. Emily staggered back, her face pale. Oliver, is this true? He tried to speak, flustered. No, she doesn't understand. She doesn't need to understand, I said softly. You manipulated her too, Oliver. You built your empire on lies, using love as a weapon. Guests murmured in disbelief. Arthur Hayes sank into his chair, eyes wide. Daniel, I can't believe this, he whispered. Emily's voice broke. Oliver, why? How could you? He snapped, anger breaking through. Because she was easy to convince. She always believed everyone else, including you. His words hung like poison. My anger faded slowly, replaced by a cold calm. I realized I didn't need revenge anymore. Truth was enough. I didn't need to speak louder, to humiliate him further. The evidence did it all. Emily collapsed against Arthur, sobbing. I didn't know, she whispered. Her tears fell freely now, a mix of shock and betrayal. Oliver's face turned red, then pale. He tried to regain control, waving his hands. Everyone wait. This isn't. But the room had shifted. The whispers grew into chatter. The weight of his manipulation pressed on him. His plans crumbled in real time. He glanced at Emily, hoping for support, but she turned away, trembling. Guests avoided his gaze. The smug confidence he had worn for months evaporated. He stormed toward the exit, his chair scraping harshly against the floor. "This isn't over," he yelled, but no one followed him. No one cared. I exhaled slowly, letting the tension drain. I looked at Emily, still clinging to her father. Her tears were real now, and my heart twisted. I hadn't wanted this for her, even if she had unknowingly played a part in Oliver's plan. Arthur's hand rested on her shoulder, holding her steady. "Daniel, thank you," he said quietly. I nodded. She didn't deserve this, Arthur. None of this was her fault. The room fell silent, except for Emily's soft sobs. I kept my eyes on Oliver's retreating figure, the memory of his voice, his lies, and his arrogance etched in my mind. I whispered to myself, almost like a mantra, I didn't destroy them, they destroyed themselves. The ceremony had stopped, frozen mid-step, but that didn't matter anymore. I had carried the truth. It had done the work for me. No revenge, no schemes, just honesty exposed. Emily looked up at me, her face streaked with tears. Our eyes met briefly, a flicker of something unspoken passing between us. Pain, betrayal, perhaps a hint of regret. I turned away slightly, letting her process it. This wasn't the closure of a wedding. It was the revelation of lies. The truth had spoken, and Oliver's empire of manipulation lay in ruins. I didn't need to say more. Every piece of evidence, every recording, every email had done what I could not, destroy the illusion of his power. And in that silence, I realized sometimes truth alone is stronger than any act of revenge. I walked into the office, the air thick with relief and tension. Liam met me by the entrance. "Daniel, you won't believe it. Oliver's partners are pulling out. Everything's falling apart for him." I nodded slowly, letting the news sink in. "Good. Let the truth take its course." Mr. Fletcher appeared from his office doorway, adjusting his tie. "Daniel, your name is cleared. The board reinstated you. Your position, your projects, all restored." I shook his hand firmly. "Thank you, Mr. Fletcher. That means a lot. You earned this," he said with a small smile. "And I hope this teaches everyone a lesson about deceit." I exhaled, thinking of Oliver. Smug, arrogant, believing he could manipulate everyone and get away with it. I imagined him facing investigations, lawyers digging into every lie, and partners walking away one by one. Karma had arrived, even without my hand pushing it. Later, Emily approached me quietly, her eyes downcast. "Daniel, can we talk?" she asked, almost hesitant. I studied her, my emotions tangled. Pain, lingering love, betrayal. It all crowded my chest. "All right," I said quietly, leading her to a side corridor. I'm sorry," she began, voice breaking. "I believed him. I thought you were hiding money, that you didn't trust me. I was wrong. I should have talked to you first." I looked at her, searching for remorse, for clarity. "Emily, I know you were misled, but you still made choices that hurt me." Tears welled in her eyes. "I know. I never wanted to hurt you, Daniel. I got confused, scared. I thought I was helping both of us." I swallowed, letting the tension ease, but keeping my distance. "I can't erase the pain, Emily, but you've admitted the truth. That's all I needed to hear." She nodded, shoulders trembling. "Do you forgive me?" I paused, thinking. Forgiveness felt heavy, almost impossible. But humiliation wasn't my goal anymore. I won't humiliate you further," I said softly. "We can't change what happened, but I can move forward. You should too. She exhaled sharply, a mix of relief and sorrow. Thank you, Daniel, for understanding. I glanced down the corridor. Arthur Hayes was watching us, his face still heavy but softer. He approached, shaking my hand. Daniel, I can't thank you enough. You revealed the truth. You saved her, even if it was painful for you. It had to be done, I said. No one deserves lies wrapped in love. Arthur nodded, eyes misty. You handled this with dignity. I managed a small smile and turned away. Every step felt lighter, as if leaving behind the betrayal and heartbreak freed something inside me. Weeks passed. News filtered through. Oliver's fraud investigation escalated. He blamed partners, lawyers, even Emily for trusting him. But no one listened. His empire of lies crumbled, and for once, his arrogance became his own downfall. I visited the office regularly, rebuilding my projects, reconnecting with colleagues, and finding a rhythm I hadn't felt in months. Mr. Fletcher checked in often. You're doing well, Daniel. You've handled everything gracefully. I'm learning, I admitted. Grace doesn't mean weakness. Liam clapped me on the shoulder one evening. You're back, Daniel, and stronger than before. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I smiled faintly. I've learned something more important than revenge. Moving forward is stronger than any victory over someone else. Emily reached out one last time quietly. Take care of yourself, Daniel. I nodded without speaking. Words weren't necessary. I had closure, even if it was imperfect. As I walked out of the building, the sun setting behind the skyline, I felt a sense of peace. Oliver's lies were exposed, his downfall complete. Emily had apologized. Arthur had thanked me, and I finally understood that revenge never healed anyone. Rebuilding my life would. I inhaled deeply, feeling the weight of the past lift slightly. The road ahead was uncertain, but it was mine to walk. And for the first time in months, I felt like I could actually smile. Not for anyone else, not for revenge, but for me. Truth had won. Karma had arrived. And I was free. Months passed, and I slowly rebuilt my life from the ruins Oliver had left behind. My own architecture firm opened its doors, modest but filled with promise. Liam stood beside me as my partner, energetic and loyal as ever. You know, Daniel, he said one afternoon, leaning against the desk, I never doubted you. Not for a second. This place is going to thrive. I smiled, feeling a sense of calm I hadn't known in months. Thanks, Liam. It feels good to be back. On my own terms this time. Sophie Whitmore joined our team shortly after, her insight invaluable. I'll make sure the designs and documents stay safe, she said, her tone determined but supportive. No one will manipulate us again. I nodded, grateful. I trust you, Sophie. You've been through a lot helping me already. Let's move forward stronger. The office buzzed with quiet energy. Projects came in steadily. I found myself focused, calm, and for the first time in years, not haunted by betrayal. One evening, as I sorted through drawings at my desk, the door opened gently. I looked up to see Emily standing there, hesitant, eyes downcast. Emily, I said softly, unsure what to expect. I don't expect forgiveness, she began, voice low. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for saving me from him, from everything Oliver was doing. I leaned back, letting the words settle. I hadn't imagined her returning, but her presence didn't stir anger this time. Only closure. Some truths, I said slowly, come too late. She nodded, a faint smile forming, tinged with regret. I know. I just wanted you to know I appreciate it, even if I can't make up for the pain. I exhaled softly. Acknowledgement is enough. It's all anyone can ask for. We stood in silence for a moment, the past heavy but distant. Then she turned and left without another word. I didn't follow. That chapter of my life had closed. Walking through the office later, I watched the sunlight spill over the models and blueprints, remembering the nights I had lost sleep over betrayal, the sleepless hours wondering if I could ever trust anyone again. Now, every step, every decision felt mine alone. Liam approached, holding 2 cups of coffee. Here, for the man who survived betrayal, scandal, and still manages to smile every morning. I chuckled. You make it sound heroic. You earned it, he said, handing me the cup. No one else could have handled what you did. And you didn't just survive, you rebuilt everything. Sophie appeared from the back office. The new project approvals came through. The clients are excited. I smiled, feeling a swell of pride. Good work, both of you. This is the life I chose after. Not haunted by the past, not waiting for revenge, just living. I walked to the large window, watching the sun rise slowly over the city skyline. Each ray of light reminded me of resilience, clarity, and choice. How I had once lost everything, love, trust, and security, but now gained something far more vital, peace and freedom. No one could manipulate me anymore. No lies could control my path. I had learned that winning didn't mean destroying those who wronged me. Winning meant choosing myself, prioritizing my life, and moving forward without bitterness. I thought back to the wedding day, the confrontation, the revelations, the silence after the storm. It had been painful, but necessary. Every lie had been exposed. Every truth had been told. And now, I could breathe freely without fear of manipulation or betrayal. I turned to my team, smiling faintly. Let's keep building together. The past is behind us. Everything ahead is ours. The sun continued to rise, bathing the office in warm light. I closed my eyes briefly, savoring the moment, knowing that every struggle, every tear, and every heartbreak had led me here. She married my enemy, I whispered to myself, voice soft, reflective. But that day I married my freedom. I took a deep breath and smiled genuinely, finally at peace. The world felt vast and full of possibility, and for the first time in a long time, I was truly free to live the life I had chosen. No revenge, no lingering anger, just clarity, strength, and a future I could call my own.